everybody. Happy Saturday to you. There we go. I could still hear that music playing in the background and was a little concerned that something was wrong. And there is. Hold, please. Okay. So that's what it was. YouTube was playing in the background, and that's what I could hear. So thank you, all of you, for coming. I have a few people in here at the moment. Hopefully, more of you will start coming in. But I do have Paul McCarthy and B Wiz. Hello to both of you, wonderful people. Hopefully, everybody is having a good Saturday so far. About 40 minutes before I was scheduled to come on, I noticed that um, I lost every single shrimp in my tank, which was extremely disheartening. For some reason, I can't keep shrimp. I don't know what's going on. However, I checked the water parameters. Ammonia was a bit high, so I did a water change. Hopefully, the cories that are in there will be okay. Fingers crossed, but I'm probably going to have to check on that once this stream is done. Jeremy, hello. Thank you for coming in and joining. I don't really have too much to talk about other than whatever's going on with my Fluval Flex right now. Like I said, all of my shrimp, they were all fine yesterday. I fed everybody. They were super active. Everybody was basically jumping on everybody to get to the food. And then I came down the stairs this morning and checked, and every single one of them were dead. And we all know how extremely disappointing that is. To lose any kind of fish, but it was like a dozen shrimp and not a single one of them made it. I also had a pygmy cory cat in there, little tiny baby guy. I got him with the last betta that I had, and he was beat up pretty good, but he was starting to heal and look a lot better. But unfortunately, he didn't make it either. So I've got to figure out, hopefully I've got that problem in that tank figured out, and I'll be able to eventually replenish it with something different. But maybe not shrimp, because I just apparently am not good with shrimp. I'm not really sure why. Jeremy, hello. The Noxki, hello. Hopefully you guys can hear me and see me okay. Like, everything looks okay on my end, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everything is actually okay. So, yeah. How has all of your Saturdays been going, or Sunday if you're not in the States like us? Anyway, how is your day going so far? Your weekend? How are things? Tell me, let me know. Things for me this week. I can't speak. Things for me this week at work were a little bit crazy. My line partner, who I had been working with for like the past 4 months, quit on us. Just didn't show up. I knew that he was going to quit. I just didn't expect it to be so soon. But in the process of that, I was moved to a different station, I guess is what you would call it. Not really department, because it's all in the same building, but a different station all week. And they basically told me that if I did a good job, that's where I would stay, and there was a possibility for a raise. So keep your fingers crossed that I put out really good numbers this week. And yeah. Dave Farrell came in. Hello. Sky Dancer. Hello. TJ Autocross, listening while cleaning a tank or two. Yeah, that's what I had to do earlier, at least with one tank. Usually I do my tank maintenance on Sunday when I'm on Sharpie stream. I kind of have him in the background, and I do tank maintenance and cleaning. Vinoxki says a 20% water change done for 3 tanks. Yeah, I have one. Really, I have 3 more tanks that I should probably, I don't know necessarily about I mean, a water change will be inevitable, but they definitely need to be not gravel vacked out, but vacked out. I need to clean the substrate. So I may do that today. I may do it tomorrow. I'm not sure. Either way, it's going to have to get done this weekend. That's usually when I do all of my tank maintenance. That's when we try to maintain all of our tanks is on the weekends, just because it's so much easier when you have as many tanks as we do to try to get them all done in one day instead of being stressed out trying to get them done throughout the week, little at a time. But it's kind of cool that everybody spends their weekends doing water changes. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Sorry, just making sure that I'm not missing anybody, any chats. I think I've said hi to all of you. I've got 9 of you in here right now, which numbers to me don't necessarily matter. It's most of you that come in here with me every Saturday, or people, who I love. I love all of my followers, but it's nice to have the majority of you that are in here right now are usually in here every Saturday, which is great. Dave Farrell, 6 gallons of apples and 1.5 gallons of mixed fruit first rack. Ooh, you're still making that wine. That is so exciting. So exciting. Discus Addiction, hello and welcome. So yeah, another one of our plans this weekend was supposed to be to get the stand and the 40 gallon up to our room. I think both of us kind of don't have the motivation to do that because it's going to be quite the task to get all of that whole area cleaned up and get the tank up there. And then we have to make sure that we have it level and, then put water in it. And it's a lot. So we may still get it done, but I'm not 100% sure. So eventually that 40 gallon will get set up and we will have water in it so that we can get it cycling and eventually get fish in it. But there's just so much going on right now outside of work and live streaming and everything else that we find the time when we can, right? I think that's pretty much what everybody does when they have little projects that need to be done. You find the time to do things when you have that time, and if it takes forever, it takes forever. This may take forever, but that's okay because in the end, it's going to be really pretty. So, yeah. How much wine have you made so far, Dave? Kind of curious. I'm excited, really, really excited to hopefully be able to try it. You said you were going to bring some to the clash. I'm kind of excited. And hopefully by then you will have all of the little kinks and quirks worked out and it'll be super duper awesome. I hope. Still everybody's saying hi to everybody. All right, somebody give me topics. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about, unfortunately. I don't have a lot of tanks that really give me a lot of problems, and we have projects that we need to start, but we haven't started those. So there's not really too much going on. 15 gallons racked and going to get more ingredients in a bit. That's exciting. I'm just curious to know what it's all going to taste like. I wouldn't call myself a wine snob, but I do like wine. Discus Addiction, how's the saltwater tank coming along? That's another one of those projects that is just it's kind of gone to a standstill. We get to the point where we think we have the salinity okay to where we can start adding fish, and then something happens and the salinity isn't quite where it's supposed to be. So that's another one that we have to kind of tackle and figure out more than likely we're probably going to have to do a water change and then do like an add salt gradually to it to get it to where it needs to be. Unfortunately, it's been so long since we have had a saltwater tank that it's kind of it's like a whole new learning curve for us, but we're gonna get there. We'll get there. I mean, it's holding water. It's doing the sump system and everything is doing really well on it. We just, as of right now, still no fish. So Dave says the apple is good. Didn't try the banana, but that smells good. Yeah, banana wine sounds interesting. It really does. No, discus addiction. Nothing good's happen. Yeah, no, nothing good does happen fast in salt water. And because we plan on putting fairly expensive fish into that saltwater tank, we don't want to rush it. We don't want to just put them in there and then lose them almost immediately because of something that we did that we should have caught ahead of time. So that's why we're kind of taking our time with this, not rushing it, making sure that everything is completely pristine and where we need it to be before we start adding any kind of life to it. Including live rack or anemone or whatever we plan on putting in there. We don't want to put anything in there until we are 100% sure that it's going to be okay. So that saltwater tank is definitely giving us a run for our money right now, but we'll get there. We'll get there. 2 different tanks with nothing in them at the moment, but it's okay because we do like to take our time, especially with certain tanks that we know are going to have certain fish in them. Like I know getting a betta sorority because I want to have at least 10 in this tank. That's not going to be cheap. That's just the betta alone are going to be a pretty decent penny. So we want to make sure that we have that exactly where we need it and where we want it before we add anything to it. Which is, to me, it's kind of stressful because I'm not a very patient person. If I could just fill the tank with water and snap my fingers and know that everything is good to go and it's set up and it's full of fish, I would do it because I don't like the waiting game. But it's okay. I will get through it. I just have to know that in the long run, it's going to be a really pretty tank and all of the waiting is going to be worth it. And the same goes for the saltwater. It's going to be a gorgeous tank and it's going to be worth it in the end. It's just a matter of playing that waiting game. So, but it's okay. What else? Paul McCarthy says, I've got lots of work to do in the fish room tomorrow. It's in a mess again. Yeah. I guess that's maybe the upside to our fish room actually being the dining room. I do the best that I absolutely can to make sure that everything stays in its place and where it needs to be. Because I have a dining room table literally right in the middle of all of the tanks that are down in this room. So definitely try to make sure that everything stays in its place up here. Nathan, hello and welcome. Paul, hi. Vanoxki, what aquarium setup that you like and why? What aquarium setup do I like and why? Gosh. I mean, I guess out of everything that we have here, it would come down to 2, really. The 200-gallon cube is probably my number 1. That is probably my absolute favorite. And it's just because it's so well planted and it's got the beautiful discus in it. And it's just all around, it's a beautiful tank. It's kind of the centerpiece of this room. And I just love the way that it turned out. But I think my second favorite one would be my 15-gallon Fluval, because I do have that one planted. I have a water lily in there that is going absolutely nuts. And I'm actually probably going to have to cut it, separate it, whatever you want to say, and move it to other tanks because it's growing so fast that 15-gallon just cannot handle how fast it's growing. But that one is also got other plants in it, and it's got a really awesome piece of wood in there that came from Rico from when we went to the Clash last year. And I love that piece of wood, and it's got some frog bit in it. And so I love that one probably because I scaped that one myself, and it took me forever to get it to the point where I'm actually proud of it and I love it. I walk by it to go to the refrigerator, and then I look at it and I just stop and I stare at it for forever before somebody is finally like, "What are you doing?" And I just have to tell them that I'm admiring that tank and how I think it looks fantastic. And that's really all that matters, right? The tank is supposed to appeal to the owner, not other people that come over and happen to see it. So those are probably my two favorites, though. And then I think once I get this 40-gallon up and going, that will end up being my absolute favorite just because it's going to be a beta sorority, and it's going to be really well planted, and it's just, I have all of these phenomenal ideas in my head for setting up this tank. And so to answer Vanoxky's question, what setup can be a Lady Metalhead trademark? It's probably going to be this 40-gallon. That is going to be like my creme de la creme of tanks, because I just have all of these awesome ideas in my head. And I'm just hoping that when we do get it set up and we start getting everything to get it scaped and going, that I can take everything that's in my head and actually put it into this tank and it actually look the way that I want it to look. So yeah. Excuse me. That one will probably end up being my trademark tank, though, for sure. Sharkfin Adventures, hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. Hopefully you are also having a great Saturday. I'm pretty sure the mail just got delivered because I heard someone, this is actually this window is to our front porch. I heard somebody walk up and then the camera just went off. So I'm pretty sure that was the mail. But anyway. Yes. There are so many different tanks, though. I can honestly say I think I like each of these tanks and their setup for a completely different reason. Like our T-Bones tank, which is over here beside me, and I don't know if I'll be able to show it very well. So this is our T-Bones tank right here. That's got all of our tigers for T-Bones in it, and we put just that one little simple rock in there in the sand. And so I love the way that turned out because it was super simple, but the tank itself has such a deep meaning to us and the Fish Fam community. So that one means a lot. And yeah, I like that one as well. But Noxkey says waiting on the 40-gallon as your background. That'll be kind of difficult to do because we're actually putting that one up in our bedroom. So I don't know that I'll be able to make it my background unless I can just take a picture of it and then use a green screen, which I could probably do. So that's actually a good idea. I like that idea. And then, obviously you guys see this tank behind me, which is lit up in a very weird way. But I like the setup on this one because it's a whole bunch of rocks that we just threw in there as kind of hiding spaces for all of the fish, and it works. It works really well with the different fish that are in there. And then the look of it. And then we get this, we used to get this really awesome algae that would grow on that back glass, and it looked so cool. But then Josh put a pleco in there, and it was all gone within like a day. The pleco just completely annihilated all of that algae. which for us was disappointed because we liked the way that it looked in the tank, where most people would be like, oh, yes, finally. We were like, oh, but it looks so cool. And then we have the cichlid setup, which I know you guys can't see because it's to the left of me, but that one has a piece of Rico driftwood in it, some rocks, like a battleship. And that tank does not look the same every day, like at all, because the cichlids are constantly moving the sand around in it, making their little mounds, digging their little trenches. So you come down here every morning and the substrate looks completely different because they worked all night to move everything around, which I think it's really annoying, but it's also really cool because when you look at it, you have to realize the amount of time and effort that it took for them to move all of that sand around. So that's why with those guys, when we did redo that tank and took all of the gravel out and put sand in, we didn't even try to really smooth it out. We just threw the sand in there because we knew they were going to move it around. And there's no point in arguing with them because they're just going to keep doing it. The next case of 40 gallons is your favorite size and your wife approved you to have one. Okay. And what's really funny is I prefer the smaller tanks. To me, 40 gallons compared to all of the other tanks that I have, 40 gallons is huge. That's a lot of real estate for me to work with. And so it was kind of overwhelming when I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to put into this tank. It's so big. I'm used to like bettas and small fish. And that's when Josh brought up the betta sorority. And I was like, why? I don't know why I didn't think that would be perfect for a sorority, because it's something that I've wanted, forever and ever. And I sound like a broken record constantly saying it, but I finally get that sorority and I'm excited about it. Scotty Aquati, hello. Happy Saturday. I hope you're having a great day. Hopefully you're staying warm and you're happy, and thank you for coming to see me. I had a squirrel moment. Oh, yes. Yeah. 40. So, yeah, a 40-gallon tank for me personally, based on the other tanks that are mine, 40 gallons is a lot. It's a lot. And most people, they would laugh at that. And I mean, in a way, I guess for us, it is kind of laughable too, because we have, 90 gallons and 75 gallons and 200 gallons. And we have the huge pool downstairs that has fish in it. And for me to sit here and say this 40-gallon is huge compared to the other tanks in the house, it's really not. But if you compare it to my other tanks, it most definitely is, because I have 1, 2, 5 gallons, a 10-gallon, a 2-gallon, a 15-gallon, and a 9-gallon, and now this 40. So, and unfortunately, the only space that we really have open to put this tank is in our bedroom. So, the only people that are really going to see it is going to be me and Josh and Minnie Metalhead if she, comes into the room and wants to see them. But it's not going to be on display like these other tanks are when people come over, which makes me a little bit sad. But at the same time, it's kind of like, it's going to be our own little, like, I don't even know how to put it. It's like our little secret almost. Nathan says it's a love-hate with cichlids. We love them for the colors, attitude, and pure awesomeness, but hate that they dig everything and kill others from time to time. Yes. These guys definitely fight with each other for tank boss quite often. We do have a lot of males and a lot of females. We have quite a few females in there that are holding right now. And so the males are constantly fighting each other, and, then they want to dig their little holes so that they can breed or whatever. And that is probably the most annoying thing about owning a cichlid is there is absolutely no point in having too many decorations in the tank, because they're going to move them. They're going to move them. They're going to put them where they want them. They're going to move that sand and do with that sand what they want. So it's kind of, that's one of those tanks where you just have to realize it's never going to be what you want it to be, because they're not going to like what you want. It's going to be about them and what they won. So I don't know, but they are super pretty fish, and they're super active, and they always know when it's time to eat. They always know when it's time to eat, but they're fun. So Paul, you need to get tanks back in the house. Yes, yes. I don't know at this point, because we have so many tanks. I don't know what I would do, if it got to a point where we just couldn't have these tanks anymore for whatever reason. I think I would lose my mind, because I'm so used to these tanks, being all over in the house and hearing the filters and hearing the water run. Yeah, I would most definitely miss it. Most definitely. It wouldn't be easy to not have tanks after this long. We've had them too long now. Oh, okay. This is something else that I wanted to bring up to you guys. There's only 17 of you in here, but hopefully you can help me spread the word. This coming Monday on Josh's stream at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, he is going, or we, if you want to put it that way, are going to have a special guest. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Larry D from Chili Heads Aquatics. Most of his YouTube videos, he does like hot sauce challenges, things like that, reviews hot sauces, but he is also a fish keeper. We met him for the first time at the Keystone Clash last year, and he's a super, super awesome dude. And so Josh and I were kind of going through a list of everybody that we want to have on the stream as guests this year. And Larry D was the first person that we chose. And so I contacted him last night, and he has agreed. So he's going to be on our stream Monday night, 7 p.m. So if you guys could be there, that would be great. Come in, support him, say hi, ask him some questions. He's got some really, really cool tanks. And, he likes hot sauce too. So that's kind of a plus. It's going to be a ton of fun. And he won't be the only person that is on that stream this year. We're going to slowly work on trying to get as many guests as we possibly can. We're hoping to maybe do like 2 a month. But if it turns out that pretty much everybody that we're asking agrees and says, yes, they want to come up, then it's probably going to be every week. So it's pretty exciting, but just trust me when I say there is a huge list of people that we want to bring up. So, and I would love to get into having people come up as guests on my stream again, but maybe not the whole families and fish keeping thing. I'm kind of thinking about like revamping everything that I do as far as this channel goes. Make it a little more adult, not quite like mayhem on Monday night, but not so PG, not so PC and proper and whatever. I think I could get a much greater audience if I wasn't holding so much back, because I want to be family friendly and kid friendly, and there are ways to do that I can still have fun and still try to, I don't know. I know what I'm saying. I just can't project it out. But anyway, trying to make this channel and this specific stream a little bit more fun. So if anybody has ideas for that, please let me know. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, me having guests on every week. It doesn't have to be anything like that. I'm trying to think of something different. Nathan says, my guys think anytime I walk past, it's time to eat. Little water pigs. Mine also finally realize I'm a friend and let me pet them. So, yeah, most of our fish try to jump out when Josh is feeding them. The cichlids, at least. They get super excited as soon as he comes home, because the way he has to walk is going to be like that area there is where our front door is. And the cichlid tank is right there. So he kind of, when he walks, he's walking literally right by and they follow him from one end of that tank to the other, like, Dad, 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 Dad. Um, I call them water dogs. I mean, they're like little water puppies. They know who he is. They know that when he comes home, it's time to eat. They're extremely intelligent fish. They're assholes. So you just kind of you get used to it, I guess. You get used to it. I don't know that these guys have ever let him pet them though. After he died, this guy who got overzealous about being fed and whatever. After he bit Josh, we've stopped putting our hands in tanks so much. Yes, Paul, they do. They get so super excited, and they kind of group up in this big ball, and they're just, they're swimming all frantically, and they're so excited because they see him and they know it's time to eat. But even if he's not feeding them and he just walks over to the tank, they know it's him, and they're just like, they're trying to get his attention like nobody's business. It's crazy. They're pretty funny. The discus do the same thing though. Like they know who he is. They recognize him. I don't know if they recognize faces, but they recognize him. And so, when he walks by them, they get excited, and then they come to the front of the glass too, or the front of the tank, however you want to put it. Missed it, Reptiles and Aquatics. Brennan, how are you today, sir? Hopefully you are having a good Saturday. Feeding time is the only time they like each other, well, in my tank at least. Oh, these guys we have weird cichlids. We've got some of them that will swim in groups with each other, almost in a schooling fashion. But for the most part, they all just kind of, they all do their thing. They'll swim with each other, not with each other. Yeah. Brennan, same. Just kind of chilling out and trying to enjoy my weekend because it seems like they go way too fast. Your spelling is horrid today. No, you know what? It's okay. I understood what you were trying to say with that sentence, so it's okay. It's fine. And I'm the same way. Sometimes I can't even speak. Like my brain knows what I need to say, but my mouth just completely jumbles it before it even comes out. So I get it. But yes, just trying to enjoy the weekend as much as I can because they seem to go way too fast anymore. But the position that I got switched to at work, I enjoy my job anyway. And I know that's a rarity, but I actually like my job and the people that I work with. And, it's an easy job. It's super chill. Most people wear sweatpants and t-shirts to work every day. That's how chill and laid back this place is. But the position that I'm in now, I love it so much. And so I don't even really dread going into work. Like I'm excited. Like I wonder how many hoses I'm going to be able to crimp before the end of today, Plus I have that whole, I should be going into work on Monday and being told, that the raise was approved and this is how much it was for. So fingers crossed on that one because my boss's boss came and talked to me yesterday, and he even told me, he was like, I hear you're doing a really good job. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work, which in itself to me is pretty cool because you don't really tend to hear from those higher ups. It's usually just your supervisor that you deal with, whether it's good or bad. That's who you hear from. And they're like, oh, well, such and such, my boss is the one that said this. And so I'm telling you. So for him to actually come up and acknowledge me on Friday and thank me for putting in such hard work all week after being transitioned from, having a partner and working on a line to now working by myself made me feel pretty good about myself. So Sage P. Lindsay, hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. Paul says that happens to me too. Oh, the whole, your brain tells you to say one thing, but then your mouth is like, no, we're gonna say this instead. And it just sounds completely crazy and people think you're drunk and you're not drunk. You just forgot how to speak. I have that happen quite often and I hate it, but that's just how it goes sometimes, I guess. So yes, what else? What else? What else? I actually wanted to make my thumbnail for YouTube today a picture of my newest beta, Fuego, that I got from a coworker. And think, I don't know if it's going to let me share this with you guys on here very well, but I will attempt it because he has frog bit in his tank now and he absolutely loves it. So let me see. It's not really going to come up very well, but I mean, you can kind of see he's in there chilling out in the frog bit in his little Squidward house, which I'm probably going to end up taking out of there and giving him either more plants or something way better. If I had a better way to share that with you guys, I totally would, but I'm on Josh's laptop and not my phone, and that's why I can't really share it very well. Paul says, yeah, people give me that look. I get that look all the time. Like, people will be like, are you okay? And I'm just like, my mouth worked faster than my brain, and I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I'm good. This is what I meant to say, by the way. So yeah, I've got roughly 20-ish minutes left in this stream. If anybody has anything they want to talk about, any questions, any comments, concerns, ideas, feel free to throw those to me. Chris, hello, welcome, and thank you for joining. That's the only bad thing about me streaming by myself is I tend to run out of things to say because I don't typically make a plan about what I'm going to talk about or what kind of things I want to bring up to you guys or whatever. So I kind of spew everything out really quick and then I'm stuck for the next, 40 minutes or whatever trying to figure out what it is that I want to talk about. So if anybody has anything, and Junior Metalhead is texting me right now. Sorry, guys. I try to answer her when I can because it's rare. Chris said I should start water changes. See? You guys knew what I meant, though. And you see his thing. Yeah, I think, I don't know if I'll do it today or if I'll do it tomorrow, but I do have 3 other tanks that I need to do water changes on. My 3 betta tanks. Nathan says, my Saturday has been wonderful so far. Woke up at noon, checked the mail to find a co-op box, and then the main man delivered. Ooh, you got the Bex art. Ooh, oh, that's right. Which one did you win, Nathan? I can't remember now. We actually have 2 pieces of Bex art, and well, Josh has one and I have one, and they're pretty. Her work is just phenomenal. Chris wants to know if any of our cities are flushing their systems. Not that I am aware of. We usually know when they're doing something to, like at our water treatment plant. We tend to know when they're doing something because we get really, really funny smells in our sewage system, and it permeates through the entire house. And it smells like someone did something really offensive in the bathroom, but it's actually just the sewer system. But I don't think they're doing anything as of right now. That's a very interesting question to ask, though. But I don't think they are. Also, Nathan, I want to know what was in the co-op box because I love getting goodies from the co-op. Absolutely love ordering things from there. All of their plants are awesome. Ooh, you got the Hillstream Loach. Yes. Also, really cool that Jason won it on the Fish Fam Christmas and then gave it away on his stream. That is super, super, super cool. Paul says you got to do water. Paul has to do water changes today and tomorrow. Okay, goodness. No, that's Beck's art is so absolutely amazing. And if I'm not able to buy anything before the Keystone Clash, I will definitely be buying more from her there if she's there. I'm hoping she's there. I'm really hoping she puts up a booth and comes again and sells more of her phenomenal artwork because it really is just so pretty. I have a mystery snail and Josh has, I believe it's a pea puffer. Chris said it's usually about this time of the year and wanted to make people aware. And you know what? That's totally awesome that you even put that little bug in everybody's ear. Hey, your cities may start doing system flushes. Um, that's good information to be aware of, for sure. I don't think they're doing anything here yet. And like I said, we typically know when they're doing anything to our water systems because it smells. It smells very bad. So as far as I know, they're not doing anything yet. But I mean, they could have already, and we weren't even aware of it. I'm not really sure. Nathan says, I will be doing an unboxing video. I'm going to tie all 3 packages into one. My Fish Fam win, the Depths win, and my co-op stuff. 2 small sponge filters for my 20-gallon, 1 pre-sponge, and 60 root tabs. The co-op root tabs are pretty good. I have used those in the past. Also, I love their sponge filters, and I love the fact that they come in different sizes. The only thing that I'm not a fan of with the co-op sponge filters is the fact that they're so coarse, and it makes it harder to squeeze them out like I do my other ones, because my other ones, I'll just take them out of the tank and put them into a tank that has like a hang on back or like a canister filter. I'll take it and stick it into one of those tanks, squeeze it out a couple of times to get all that icky out, and then put it back in my tank. And with these coarse ones, it's so much harder to do that because so much gets stuck in there. So that's my only complaint with the co-op sponge filters. But I mean, they still work great and they still keep tanks absolutely beautiful in my opinion. And I'm a huge fan of sponge filters versus hang on backs and canisters. I like that you can hide a sponge filter a lot better than you can a hang on back or even like everything for a canister. But again, that's just my personal opinion and everybody is different. And I have actually a couple of my betta tanks did have hang on backs on them, and I took the hang on backs off and stored those and put sponge filters in because I just prefer a sponge filter. That's just my personal preference. Pretty exciting though. Getting goodies is always fun. Yes, Paul, the simplicity of a sponge filter to me, because what's really annoying to me, and I can actually give an example right now because it's doing it. So when this stream is over, I have a tank to top off. The hang on back that is currently on our tiger barb tank needs to be filled up a little bit. You can hear it kind of making that really weird noise because the water level is getting low. And you don't have to worry about that with a sponge filter. There is not that excessive, really annoying, oh my God, top off my tank or I'm going to make noise. Chris says, I like to put my intake filters in my shrimp tanks and rotate them as free food for the shrimp. Yes. That makes sense. Danny Ken Aquatics. Tried to say that way too fast. What's up, Kenny E? Nathan, oh, good to know. I have one sponge filter I got on Amazon, and then the one I want on Steven Fish Fam giveaway, and now these two. I really like the tiny one I got from Fish Fam. Yeah, it has biomedia also. Yeah, so I actually have co-op filters, and I have KG Tropical filters. The KG Tropical filters are the ones that have the suction cups. And you stick it back to the back of the tank, and then like at the bottom is where the filter plugs in, at the top is where the air comes out. So it's kind of a cool system in that way. And those are like, I mean, the whole thing is only like probably that big. It's super, super tiny. That is in one of my betta tanks. And then, like I said, I have your standard sponge filter. You just put the air line in it and it does its thing. But yeah, for me, like I said, it is absolutely a matter of preference. I mean, you have some people that do canister only. You have some people that do hang on back only. You have some people that do sponge filter only. I would absolutely love to go sponge only on this 40 gallon. However, Kelly Foreman has I believe it's a Fluval canister filter that came with the tank that she got in her aquascaping challenge in Chicago. She does not want that filter, so she offered to give it to me and said that it would be something that would work really great on the 40 gallon. I'm still personally debating. I'm sure there's a way that I can put the intake and everything in there and kind of put plants around it to hide it so you don't see that as much. But to me, that's just not, having all that in your tanks is just not aesthetically pleasing to me. So it's a battle. But even if we don't put that specific canister in this 40 gallon or hook it up to this 40 gallon, it can go as a backup for another tank or, whatever the case may be. So I'm still deciding on that. But I figure a canister probably would be smart because of the bio load that I'm going to have in this tank. It's going to be 10 female bettas, and then we're probably going to do like a dozen or so possibly cardinal tetras. So I don't know. We'll see. Nathan says you'll have to check out my video to see them. I will try to upload it again later today. I had to remake the original unboxing 3 times as I deleted it by accident when adding it. Yeah. We've had that problem too, where, we get a video or something, get it completely edited, and then delete it by accident. Kenny says your arowana is begging. So he's on this side. He's probably actually ready to eat. That's probably his problem. But I know that, like, even on Monday night when Josh is streaming and we're sitting here and we're talking to people, this is all he does is just swim back and forth like a goober. But he very well could be begging for food. So yeah, Nathan, I will definitely check out your video. I'm curious to see the filters and stuff that you got. Paul says cleaning the canisters can be time consuming. That's the other thing. That, again, simplicity for me. Pop out the sponge filter, squeeze it out a couple of times, put it back, and you're done. You're good. That's it. That's the extent of it. Yeah, I definitely like the simplicity. Now you all are going to see Josh's arm. He's over here now feeding everybody. They're going to go nuts. Hey, you guys are getting a free show. Ha. Okay. Okay, so yeah. I believe, actually, I don't know why I didn't get to do this sooner. Nope, it's not going to let me do it. I believe, though, Nathan, that I am subscribed to your channel already. If I'm not, I will definitely. I'm going to check when I'm done with this stream just to make sure so that I can catch that video. Because I do think I remember the Bex art that you won, but I definitely want to see it again. Nano Aquarium Guy, hello, welcome. Yes, sponge, pre-sponge, all of that. And again, like I said, it's most definitely a preference, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a canister filter or a hang-on back. We have a little bit of everything in all of these tanks have something different. Some of them have canisters, some of them have hang-on backs, and then you have some that have sponge filters as well. So it's a mix of everything. So, okay, yeah. Chris telling everyone to hit that like button. Yes, please do remember to hit that like button on your way in, even if you're the replay crew. Don't forget. It definitely helps me out. And I thought that I had gotten a notification that someone was live, but I didn't think that anyone went live until well after me on Sundays, but it could be a pop-up. I was just going to see if I could figure it out. No, maybe not. Okay. I must just be losing my mind. That's okay. I more than likely am going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. There are a couple of tanks that I can hear that need to be topped off. They're going to drive me insane. So yeah, there's some tank maintenance and things that need to be taken care of. It is Saturday, yes. Did I say Sunday? I might have said Sunday. Anyway. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. Try to get some of these tanks taken care of, get them all topped off. Thank you to all of you who came in. Even if you came late. And speaking of late, Matt coming in, that's a short drive. Anyway. Yes, thank you all for coming in and listening to me ramble on about a bunch of nonsense. Hopefully you have a great rest of your Saturday and a good weekend. Don't forget Monday Night Metal on Monday, 7:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Special guest Larry D of Chili Heads Aquatics. Hopefully we will see you all then. Have a good one, guys.